And welcome back to the commentary box. You are watching Veron and Darius Johnson commentating on the 6th match, in fact, of the final day of Alliance Tournament 8. You have Panda Team versus Dystopia Alliance. And for Panda Team, we have fielded a Legion, 2 Absolutions, an Ashimu, a Guardian, 2 Cruors, and 3 Purifiers.
And for... what's on the right side?
That's Dystopia.
For Dystopia, we have Loki, a Claymore, 2 Sleipnirs, a Hurricane, a Scimitar, a Saber, and 2 Dramiels.
And I absolutely love this Panda Team setup. It's all Amar, it's all armor tanked. It's got a Guardian to support it. It's got an obscene amount of cap warfare. It's got weapon bonuses from the Ashimu and the Cruors, and I just like the look of it. It's awesome.
Yes. What I like is the fact that we have all Amar on one side and all Minmatar on the other.
Yeah, I do like this.
It looks very pretty, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's very good. And we can see this Legion that's been used by Panda Team is, I believe, exactly the same subsystem layout that was used yesterday by Pandemic Legion.
We have bombs, I think.
Do we have bombs?
Yep,
we've got 2 bombs
all over the place on the right side.
Yeah, we've got 2 bombs on the field. Not really a great deal of damage done by them, unfortunately. We did lose 1 frigate, but not really an effective use of bombs there. But yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of Blood Raider ships on the field now. We have 3. One which is probably soon going to die, the Ashimu, piloted by Dante of Panda Team.
Yeah, and we do have a Hurricane actually on Dystopia's side that's on its way out as well. Let's see who gets there first. It's going to be the Hurricane. Calling it.
Yeah, and it's going to be very difficult to chew through the armor tanks on those Absolutions in that Legion. I'm assuming that they're going to be tanked to be supported by the Guardian. They're going to obviously be slightly damage fitted because the Absolution is a damage platform. It's the command ship, obviously, based on the prophecy, and the damage-based command ship rather than the damnation, which tends to be the fleet command ship, and is used primarily for distributing gang bonuses.
It looks like they're taking out the Purifiers for Panda Team.
Yeah.
That's not going to, what that's going to do is kill those Purifiers.
Yeah, it's going to negate quite a lot. Well, not really a massive amount of DPS because they still have those 2 Absolutions and the Legion on the field. But I'm betting that if any of these ships on the side of Dystopia have tracking disruptors on board, it's going to give the Absolutions and the Legion a pretty hard time.
See, now I really like that move because what they were doing was they shot the Purifier, the Guardian repped it right back up, and they immediately switched to the Crewer. And the Guardian for Panda Team not able to switch targets fast enough to prevent him from dying.
And this is always the disadvantage. I mean, you end up with a Guardian, you get all of your armor bonuses at the end of the cycle, so that's all you have to do, literally. You shoot at one target, you see the rep cycle go off on the target that you're shooting at, and you flick quickly to a second target, and before his module can recycle and give him an armor buff from it, he just straight away, he's out of the game.
You sound like you know a thing or two about flying a Guardian.
Yeah, I do. I on several occasions I have flown one.
We have another Purifier down for Panda Team with a Crewer dipping kind of into and out of 25% armor. Looks like the Guardian caught him. T-Rex Sork for Dystopia about to explode. That would be one of the Sleipnirs.
Yeah, and it's fine if Tyrax explodes, in all honesty. I don't mind that at all. There he goes.
Well, the beats waking up in the street, I guess.
Yeah, this is definitely true. One of his fortes, obviously, given FanFest last year. Yeah. Always an awesome character to have at FanFest and in the tournament, Tyrax, though, and he really usually brings the showmanship when he comes to the tournament, and it's always good to see. You can see that the second crew for Panda Team is down. It looks as if they've started to turn guns on one of the Absolutions. The Guardian for Panda Team also taking damage. If they can get this Guardian off the field for Panda Team, it's just going to be a matter of trying to keep under the tracking of these pulses and try and, or at least out of the range of them, use the fall off of the autocannons on the Matari ships that Dystopia are fielded, and basically just try and outlast them and pick off what they can.
Yeah, and it looks like Panda Team's trying to go after the Scimitar of Dystopia.
Yep, he's been absolutely pounded with heavy pulse fire from all 3 of those turret-based Amar ships on the Panda Team.
Yeah, this will be great because if they both go down about the same time, it just turns into a slugfest.
Yeah, it's going to be an Amar Minmatar slugfest as well. which is always awesome.
We just lost a bunch of drones, I think.
Yeah, we can see there the Guardian about to go
There we
down
go.
for Panda
Yep.
team. Yeah,
Smart bomb.
he is indeed smart bombing. It's a bit bizarre. Yeah, Guardian smart bombing, which is actually a bit crazy because you
Well,
would think
interesting at
yeah,
least.
it's interesting at least. Yeah, it's a bit random but a little bit interesting. And it looks as if we're going to have a Mar Minotaur and a Mar Minotaur
Showdown.
slugfest. Yeah, and it's a little bit what's fairly evenly matched, but a little bit unmatched because we've got a Minotaur fleet and field command ship. We've got one of each. We've got 2 Minotaur field command ships and 2 T3s. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top. Already, Dystopia's looks as if they're going to take the lead in this case because wow, the absolution of Panda team just absolutely starting to melt. I'm going to surmise that those are damage fitted and not very heavily tanked because he's taken a hell of a lot of damage.
Yeah, you did see him do a rep cycle or two, and it kind of creeped up a little bit, but as the DPS ramped up from that, there's no way he can keep up with it, obviously, since he's about to explode.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that that Dystopia have in their advantage here is, I mean, people like NT Rabbit, for instance, Tyrax, they're all very old players. They're veteran players with like 120, 130 million skill point characters. So they're going to have that extra 2-3% from level 5 skills that's really going to play into their hands in a situation like this.
That it is indeed, and as our slugfest continues, we have the Sleipnir for Dystopia about to explode, but we already have the Absolution for Panda team dipping towards 50% armor,
And this
which is below 25%, which is where it's really at, but it will get there eventually.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually, and you can be happy about it, but it's interesting because this has been a pretty close match.
Well, it still is. I mean, the Loki's now starting to drop on the Dystopia side. It would be great if it was one-on-one at the end.
I was that Dremiel pilot, I'd just be sitting back and watching the show because this is awesome.
Crossing my fingers and hoping I'm not the last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd just hand myself over to CCP Close Hammer of Death at the end of this, to be honest. But yeah, this is
Take me. I choose you.
But we're seeing just 2 ships left on the field for Dystopia, 2 left on the field for Panda team, and this is actually one of the closest matches of the tournament, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is definitely a close match of the tournament, and the reason for that being that they're so DPS centric, which is what I absolutely love. Just get on either side, shoot at each other, and let things blow up. I'm not a big fan of the very heavily tanked sit around and hope I don't lose setups.
And if anything, in all honesty, the Panda team are at a bit of a disadvantage because natively, Minotaur ships, at least T2 ships, tend to have a very high EM resistance on their armor at least. They're designed specifically to counter Mar technology, so it puts them at a little bit of an advantage, I guess.
Do you suppose that's because they use them as slaves?
Potentially, it could be, yes.
Don't think they like each other very
Nah,
much.
I don't think the Amar and the Minotaur are really very friendly.
Anti-Rabbit dropping into 50% armor.
And it looks as if we might have like a fight between 2 T3 cruisers, a
Yes.
T3 1v1.
But one that will be in half shields and the other that will be untouched.
It's going to be interesting.
But he has a Dramiel to back him up.
Look at it. These guys
Ooh,
are pretty.
I
These
don't
guys
know.
are pretty much dropping at the same time.
Who's going to do it? Who's going to go first? Is it going to be the Claymore? Is it going to be the Absolution? Who knows?
Oh, it looks like
Claymore.
NT Rabbit's going to go first.
Yes. Boom.
Boom! There he goes.
Okay.
Okay, so we have Legion and Absolution still on the field for Panda team. We have a single Loki on the field for Dystopia, along with a Dramiel, which really doesn't seem to have been doing a great deal for the last 10 minutes.
No, well, he was Dramiel-ing.
Yes, just Dramieling.
The Absolution not getting shot.
And I've just taken a look on our commentator's screen, and that Dramiel is actually doing nothing at all. He's just sat like 70 kilometers away, just watching the fight.
Beat Dramiel.
Bait Dramiel, yes.
Calling it now.
But this Absolution,
About
this
to
is
go boom.
and this is the disadvantage that you obviously have with flying a completely passive loadout. I mean, they've only got Dystopia only have one hull left on the field that's anywhere near as effective as it needs to be to try and kill that Absolution. But it's taken so long to pull to chew through it, purely because of the fact that it's just heavily buffer tanked.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end, that's not going to matter because the Absolution is going to blow up, and then what it boils down to is whether or not that Legion can stay alive. Which was, I mean, kind of a common sense statement. It's like saying, you know, whether he keeps breathing depends on whether or not his lungs work, but I had to say it anyway.
Yeah, thank you for that biology lesson there, Darius. That was wonderful.
Yes, we do use lungs.
And we have lost the Absolution from the Panda team. I'm imagining that that Dramiel's just been sat out there because he's absolutely scared to hell of the sheer tracking that pulsers have. Medium pulsers will track a frigate very easily. Maybe not a Dramiel that can do like up to 5 kilometers a second, but it's a significant risk for him. So I think he's just going to stay out there at range unless the Loki pilot needs his assistance.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. The Legion pilot now taking some damage. The Loki pilot obviously at 25% shields. And they're just gonna be slugging it out. And
the Loki pilot actually appears to be, he's just basically kiting the Legion, keeping him at the edge of his fall off, and not really doing a great deal. I'm trying to get an idea of points value to see who would actually go through. I'm trying to total it up on my head and get a count of time.
Yeah.
So we've got to we're gonna have to actually see. And I've just been told actually by our referees that Dystopia is winning if they stay alive now. So I think they're probably just going to try that. That Loki pilot is just going to try and stay out of trouble. It's 80 versus 105 points in Dystopia's favour.
Oh, so even if he gets that Dramiel, it doesn't do him any.
So no, even if he kills that Dramiel, it won't really do him any good because he'll only be up then to 84 points. So Dystopia, as long as they keep this Tech 3 alive, have won the match, basically.
Well, let's see if that happens. This poor little Legion is wishing he bought his track shoes.
Yeah, I bet he is. We can see that the Loki pilot is just staying at...
Now he's taking some damage.
He is taking a little bit of damage, but he's trying to stay as far away as he possibly can, I think. I don't know whether we have...
We did just have a timer. We probably got about 8.5 minutes left.
Yeah, but it's 85 versus 81 points. Apologies. CCP clause just corrected us. Because you can't actually be at 105 points. We know that one person in history has fielded 109 points at a tournament match before. That didn't go too well for them. But yeah, it's 85 versus 81 in Dystopia's favour at present. So as long as they can keep this Loki alive, then...
Don't they have to keep the Dramiel alive then too in that
Yeah,
case?
they will have to keep the Dramiel alive. Or they will actually tie on points. It'll be 85-85. So yeah, interesting. It's close match, best match indeed,
Very much so.
as you can see on the screen. And this is by far the closest match we've ever had in the tournament.
That Loki doesn't seem to be doing much of anything.
Yeah.
Very suspicious.
Strange. I don't know what the deal is there. Maybe he's burnt his guns out.
They're trying to win by points.
Yeah, maybe he's out of ammo, but he's not really doing anything. He could probably kite the Legion if he wanted to. The Legion is more than likely capped out, I should imagine, because his fire's very sporadic now. I mean, this is a long match. There's got to be not very long left.
This is like a demolition derby with one car with no gas and the other with no tires.
Yeah,
I'm just going to shout and shake my fist at you angrily. Oh, if this car could drive, I would ram it into yours.
Oh God, we have 7 minutes left of just watching a Loki fly around on its own. And thank you for that wonderful analogy. It's so colourful, Darius, all the time.
Thank you. Well, we can look at the planet.
Yeah, we can look at the planet. In fact, if the camera guys want to start on a little bit of planetary interaction and show some of the features, that would be wonderful, because there's not really a great deal going on.
No, nothing's...
But, yeah, it's... So Dystopia will take this if they keep this Loki alive. I'm just expecting Dystopia to do something epically stupid, like the Loki pilot goes outside the boundary or something and gets blown up.
Yeah, or the Dramiel.
Oh, the Dramiel pilot, yeah.
Somehow. Yeah. Bumps into a can or a wreck or something. Well, obviously a wreck.
Yeah, and I mean, the Loki is naturally... he's naturally going to be faster. I mean, we've got speed readouts on both of these ships. The Legion's doing about 1.2 kilometers a second. and the Loki is sat at like just shy of 1,800 meters a second, so there's no way that the Legion is going to catch him. He's just going to be able to sit and kite him for as long as he needs to take the match.
Man, he's got to be pretty angry right now.
That Legion pilot is going to be seriously annoyed.
It's one angry panda. They are actually very mean.
Are
pandas.
they?
Yeah.
Really, really mean.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like really mean.
Well, they're kind of like bears, but not bears, aren't they? I think Soundwave was saying.
No, he was trying to say something about them being raccoons or something, but I don't believe that.
And we have an absolutely beautiful shot of a planet
it's
there.
Lovely. What do you suppose that red stuff is?
I think it is probably magma.
No, it's magma when it's in the ground and you wouldn't be able to see it.
No,
That's a science lesson for you.
No,
It
thank you.
becomes
We've had
lava.
biology and we've had science now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That's what
I
I
mean,
do.
it doesn't look like a lot of people live there, in all honesty.
No. Well, if they do,
They'd be rather warm.
yeah.
They'd be the most suntanned people in the world ever. But yeah, I mean, I don't know whether we can actually see anything interesting, or whether we're just going to kind of,
There's lava.
yeah, pretty
Do
lava.
you suppose they've figured out how to make planes fly when there's ash on that planet?
I would actually like to find out about that. Perhaps CCP Claw or someone could contact us and let us know what the deal is.
Why? Because he's an expert on ash.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Fortunately, this makes for one hell of a boring tournament match. I don't know how long we've got left on the clock, but there's nothing much you can really do. Oh, and CCP Claw has just announced that he banned Ash from Icelandic airspace. He just said, Ash, get the hell out of here because we want to have a tournament and spaceships need to fly. So
That was nice of him.
yeah, so it's all good. We can have the rest of our tournament without the threat of volcanic eruptions, hopefully.
There is always the threat of volcanic eruptions. They say that other one may blow up.
Indeed.
They, if you know who they are.
There. And I do believe we are going into World Cup mode, considering that
The Dramiel went.
Oh,
Did he caught the Dramiel?
I think the Dramiel
caught
just
the
went
Dramiel.
down. He caught the Dramiel.
So now
That's
Panda
85.
team is
That's
in charge,
85.
yes.
85. That is even points.
And now they're going to have to just bump into each other.
And we also have wonderful vuvuzelas playing as well in the background. If anyone has been watching the World Cup and is immensely annoyed by them, we apologise, but it's hilarious and we're going to make you suffer as much as we have to while we commentate.
Yes. And we also, this is wonderful. All that Dramiel had to do was stay alive.
What the hell happened to that
Not
Dramiel
die.
pilot? What an idiot.
What do you
Wow.
suppose he was doing?
I've
basically lost
I've
the
got
match with
no
3
idea.
Well,
Yeah, he's
I don't want to say
basically
basically because there was nothing
he's
to expand
he's effectively
upon. He just
potentially
lost the match.
He's basically lost Dystopia the match, yeah. And I don't know.
If you were on Dystopia's team and we were giving you like a pre-fight lecture and we were saying don't be this guy, he was
It's
that
actually, it doesn't matter that Dramiel's gone down and he's probably going to get an ass kicking off his team captain, but Dystopia will win the match
guy. How?
because Dystopia went through in 7th place, seeded into these finals, and Panda went through 23rd.
So what does that mean?
So that means that
Math, I don't do it.
Dystopia have a higher points ranking in the qualifiers, so they'll go through.
All right, well, that cheering I did, just pretend I didn't do it. So now I look kind of silly.
But yeah, so
Unless he can catch this Loki. I mean, he did catch the Dramiel.
So yeah, Dystopia will take it regardless.
And he's shooting at him. And shields are going down.
Unless the Loki pilot does something immensely stupid.
Yeah, because he has to win. This is do or die, my friend. It's like living on the streets.
Indeed it is.
He's got him to have shields.
And
Things are happening.
one of the Panda team pilots in local is demanding that he fights like an honourable space warrior.
Which I can almost guarantee that was honor with a U.
Actually, it was. Yeah, it was. It was honourable with a U.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Because
you're right.
if it's with a U, they meant it unironically.
And apparently, someone who spells really horribly in local has said Tyrax has got no E horror rather than honor. So, yeah, I can see why they lost the match if they can't even spell honor.
That's fortunate. I've never been horrified.
Neither have I, in fact.
What do you suppose it looks like? Like a little fizzle on the
Uh.
circuit board? Yeah.
But yeah, it's just wow. I mean, this has been the closest match that we've had, I think. Well, it has been the closest match we've had. Two T3s left, and Dystopia are only going to go through based purely on points
Not
value
dying.
from the qualifiers. Yeah.
Provided
So-
this guy doesn't die, you never know.
Yeah, if
This is still anybody's match if you're somebody who can do it.
I think that the point that we need to take into account is we've got a minute left. That's still a minute where T-Rex's team can potentially screw up like
Yeah.
they have done in the past. So, you know,
You always
it's
have
just-
the you
just
always
throwing
have
it
the
out
Dystopia
there,
factor.
potentially something stupid could happen. It hasn't, you know, it's happened in the past and ridiculous things have gone down. So, yeah, we have like, as you can
40
see on your
seconds.
screen, we've got like 45 seconds left of the match. And Dystopia are going to literally scrape through by the skin of their teeth at this point.
Or the skin of their Loki.
The skin of their Loki, yes. And it's just, yeah.
30 seconds left. 30 seconds left in the quarter.
And wow, yeah, closest match we've had, and it was a good match to start out with. I mean, it went really well. There was lots of good DPS. There was lots of good fights in it, and then it just got to the point where you get a stalemate like this, and then some Dramiel does something stupid, and
Yeah, it was really exciting until it got to a point of, well, now the only way to win is not to die.
yeah, I mean, it's crap that a match ends on a technicality.
It's like war games.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
only way to win is not to
And there
play.
we go.
0 seconds.
Time is up. Dystopia go through based on the ranking in their qualifiers, and we can pass back to Soundwave in the studio.